on Good Morning Sri Lanka, talking about nutrition this morning, and during that very quick break we had a small chat about dieting. Now I'm sure many of you out there might have at some point tried, it may not have lasted very long, but tried dieting. Now dieting isn't something that it takes a lot of focus to try to do it, but also I guess there's always this process of picking and researching into what kind of diet you should be taking on, or whether it's Atkins. And I know these are all dieting itself is a fairly new concept to us here in Sri Lanka, diets themselves. So but no carb diets and so on. So for those out there who might have questions about the dieting, how does that affect your nutrition? Obviously there's no easy way to lose weight or to take care of your body, but dieting, how does that work?
Yes, I mean, dieting, first of all you have to sort of like really ask yourself, do I need to diet? So are you dieting for yourself? Are you dieting for somebody else? What are you losing those pounds for? But I think it's important as well to look at your whole lifestyle. So I mean, dieting to most people, they think of they're going to exclude something. And as soon as you start thinking that you're excluding something, it actually becomes quite hard to sort of stick to. So the first thing to do is you have to be really focused. You have to ask yourself, what is it that I want to achieve? And really, when we look at sort of losing weight, it really boils down to the amount of calories that we're consuming. So the calories that we consume are our sort of energy source. If we consume more calories than we burn or use up on a daily basis, then we will store those calories as fat. And that's all there is to it. Yeah. So if you want to lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you're putting into your body. So maybe not just about excluding food from your diet, but maybe look at your lifestyle. What kind of exercise are you doing, and if you can
including something.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can increase your calorie output, then you can actually not have to worry so much about excluding things dietary wise. But going back to the sort of actually excluding things, one thing that's really useful, and it's been shown that people who decide that they're going to go on a diet or exclude some kind of food group, if they keep a food diary, if they actually are writing down every day the foods that they are eating, they're actually a lot more likely to lose those few pounds or lose an extra few pounds than people who maybe don't do that. I don't think realistically that many people are aware of just how much food that they're eating. And part of the problem that we have is with sort of talking about food processing and food refining, is that we are eating a lot of what's called energy dense. So, and I'm seeing, as I'm traveling around Colombo, certain brands of fast food outlets. I don't know whether I'm allowed to name them. I won't.
No names.
No names. No names. Yeah, they're kind of springing up here. We've got a lot of them in the UK, but they're springing up here too. And the kind of foods that you're getting there, they're very energy dense. So you're getting a lot of fat, a lot of sugar, not in huge amounts of portion. So you can eat those, a couple of hours later you'll be hungry again. So it's the amount of calories that we're actually consuming that we need to address, really.
We're not a big calorie counting nation. Counting calories is a little alien to us. It's not something that we're used to, because we don't look at an apple and go, oh, we don't take it and go, oh, this is 40 calories, or we don't look at a pack of cereal and go, okay, per serving we have X amount of calories.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is quite new to us, and it's not something that we would regularly do. I'm assuming a lot of people at home can kind of relate to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that something that we should be doing, counting calories or looking at what we're taking in?
It's not necessarily about counting calories, but just being aware of the kind of foods that you eat. Different food groups, so protein, carbohydrate, fat, have different energy levels, if you like. Protein delivers about 4 grams. 4 grams of, or 4 calories, per gram. That's it. And the same for carbohydrate. Fat, on the other hand, is much higher. It's nearly double the amount of energy. So if you eat a gram of fat and a gram of protein, you'll actually get more calories from the fat. So So that's the whole kind of hypothesis behind actually sort of, fat makes us fat. However, if you eat protein, your body burns a lot more calories itself in actually digesting that protein. So when we look at the calories that we're burning on a daily basis, we have what's called our basic metabolic rate. So if we just sit here and we do nothing all day, we will burn a certain amount of calories. If we go to the gym, we will burn a certain amount of calories. But a certain amount of calories that you have within your sort of amount that you have in a day is actually just through digesting. And so if we increase, for example, our protein, so if we have some primarily some lean meat, some leafy green veg, then we will actually feel fuller for longer, rather than sort of eating fat, which is very easily digested, makes us feel full for a bit, but then we feel sort of empty again. And again, the carbohydrates, we really do you need to restrict your carbohydrate. But I'm talking about the sort of stodgy carbohydrates. In the UK, it's things like people eat a lot of pasta, they eat a lot of sort of rice, a lot of potatoes, and they're the culprits that are making us pile on the pounds, because, like I said, our bodies can't cope with that, with the amount that we eat, so we kind of store it as fat. So yeah, if you want to lose those few calories, then those few pounds rather, stick to the sort of the better carbohydrates, so our leafy green veg, or salads, that kind of thing. I don't know, the sort of vegetables, nice solid lovely vegetables.
So passionate when you talk about food. It's a good thing in the morning.
Yes.
It is. But thank you very, very much to Dr. Nina Berry, who's been on our show talking to us about nutrition and food, and so many things that we have really taken away today. Talking about fish, and talking about butter, talking about rice, talking about things, coconut oil, things that we use day to day. And there's always so much discussion, even at home, amongst us. So hopefully we put a few questions to rest, and you don't have as many. But thank you once again for being with us, and we wish you the very best of luck with everything. When we come back after this short break, we have, for those of you who like chess, you'll find the next bit of the show very interesting. All of that in just a bit on the other side of this break on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. Just before the break, we were talking about how to keep your mind healthy, and here's another way that you can do. And before I went into the break, I mentioned that we will be talking about chess. Now, to talk to us about a chess tournament that's coming up very shortly, we have with us the Vice Principal of Regent International School in Gampaha. We have Ms. Krishanti Wickramaarachi. We also have the teacher in charge of chess, Ms. Nimali Piris, and the sports coordinator, Mr. Michael Lebroy. So we'd like to say good morning, and thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
Morning. Now, we're talking about the chess tournament that is being organized, and I understand that it's in a couple of weeks on the 4th and the 5th and 6th of April, which is just around the corner. But let's talk a little bit about school to start off with, and the chess tournament. This is the second year that you will be hosting it. So let's talk about the last 3 years.
Yes, this is we are under TISL, that is the International Schools of Sri Lanka. So this is the 7th year that they are organizing the international chess tournament, and this is the second year that we are going to host it. And the first year we had quite nice experiences, and I hope that we help most of the students to come up with their talents and to encourage the other students to start up with chess. So this time, to the second time, we are organizing it again. For the first time, there were around 53 teams participating, and this time we have 95. So with this big improvement, we are trying to do our best and organize the chess tournament in this year to benefit all the student population in Sri Lanka.
95 teams is a lot. Of course, those 95 teams, I'm sure, are from different categories. They're from a limited number of schools within the international school or within the international school community, but you have different categories, I understand. So, Miss Imali, if you can talk to us a little bit about, the kind of categories the students will be competing under, and the chess club itself in the school.
We have under 8, 10, 12, 14, 17 and 19. Then there are 12 players for each team, A and B, and 6 in one A team, and B team also 6, like that way it's categorized.
Okay, so 95 teams is again quite a lot, quite a big number, and you have a very active chess club within the school also. So let's talk a little bit about the chess team. Being teacher in charge, you must be very proud of your chess club. Let's talk a little bit about the chess club in school.
Now we are having about 65 players. Out of that only we have the selected tournament, and we are having another selection tournament, and after that only we are training for this tournament, international tournament.
Now, training for a tournament like this is obviously a little different to training for, say, a different kind of sports. It's again, you have your schoolwork, which is also mentally taxing, and then you have to sit down, and then this is something that you need to, also focus and really work hard at. You have very good a coach also, who is
Mr. Shamin Moraes is an international rated player and is a national player.
So he obviously can give a lot back to your chess club and to your chess team. Mr. Michael Lebroy, my question for you is, of course, being sports coordinator, I'm sure you find people from, you have all the students who want to take part in different activities. Now, chess, to be honest, isn't always a first option for students. It's not the club, the go-to club. Everyone wants to play basketball or cricket or something a little more active. That when you think of sport, that's the first thing that they want to do. So, a chess club, how do you motivate students to want to join a chess club?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is spot on. Chess, to get people motivated to play chess is not an easy task, because they like to go in for the more energetic type of games. But here again, what I must say, before I took over as sports coordinator, chess was anyway doing well in the school. It was just a case of developing it and then making it grow. So the seeds had been planted. It is the crop that is coming out now. And I say it's very much more different from an energetic type of sport, because if you look at chess, if you look deeply at chess, it does stimulate. It does stimulate your thinking. It keeps you concentrating for long periods of time, and that in turn will help a student who is studying for exams or studying maybe for a term test or whatever he's looking forward to. So that concentration part is very important.
Because when we talk of sport, often there is, if you talk of a student taking part in, say, rugby or cricket, I'm sorry to always draw comparisons, but there's always this thing of, okay, it's going to build a team spirit, okay, it's going to help you, come together. There are certain things that people want to say that they can take away from that sport. And with chess, of course, it has certain perks also. It has its plus points, but those are things that we need to discuss. So what do you think are things that someone can take away?
Like you say, it is more of an individualistic type of game, and the other sports is more team. But then people who or athletes who play or who are involved in team sports, they know what it is to work like a team. So if you can get those people to transfer into this, where they can now use their thinking power combined with team, I think the outcome is really fascinating.
And also, again, with other sports, you're always going to be, when it comes to scheduling your after-school practices, you have either daily practice. How does it work with the chess club and with the chess teams? What kind of intense practice are they going to now, especially with the tournament just around the corner? I'm sure as teacher in charge, you might have to facilitate a lot of those practices.
Yeah, we are having a Friday chess practices, and additionally Saturdays, and we are having a friendly matches with other schools also.
friendly matters. Friendly matters can always be very competitive, ma'am. Let's talk about, you know, from your perspective, how important it is to have students kind of grow out of wanting to do the exact same kind of thing and branching out and looking at sports like chess and being active in that field.
Yeah.